Royal snub, how palace fumed at Charles after petulant prince embarrassed the Queen. Prince Charles invited the wrath of the palace after he embarrassed the Queen with petulant and selfish behavior, a documentary has revealed. The Prince of Wales snubbed the Chinese president when he came on a state visit to the UK in 1999 by not turning up to the state dinner at the Chinese embassy in London. According to the 2017 Channel 4 documentary The Royal House of Windsor, this part of the visit is traditional protocol and the Queen was the guest of honor. At the time, there were protests against China's human rights record and its occupation of Tibet. Royal reporter Richard Kay told the program how Charles was making a statement with his no-show. He was expressing his support for the Dalai Lama, the exiled spiritual leader of Tibet, undermining the diplomatic efforts of both the Labour government at the time and the royal family. Mr. Kay said, by not attending on this occasion, he was not only letting down the monarchy, he was embarrassing his mother. Those who work for the Prince of Wales didn't have an explanation other than that he had an unbreakable arrangement elsewhere. At the time of the state dinner at the Chinese embassy, Charles was in fact hosting a small dinner party with Camilla Parker Bowles, now the Duchess of Cornwall. Not only did he refuse to attend the event, but he did not even warn the palace or his mother, the Queen, that he would not be there. Mr. Kay explained in the documentary how important a role the royal family plays in these state occasions. He said, the monarchy was expected to put on a show. We were trying to foster good trading relations with China, and in order to do that all parts of the state system has to work smoothly. And the royal family, as ever, had a big part to play. They were really rolling out the red carpet. The journalist recalled the moment it became clear that Charles was not turning up. Everyone was waiting at the embassy for the guests to arrive and, as is protocol, members of the royal family turn up in ascending order of who is the most important, with the Queen arriving last. Therefore, when the monarch arrived and there was no sign of Charles, everyone realized what he must have done. What's more, it was clear that had not been agreed beforehand, because there had been no forewarning or explanation as to why the prince would be absent. Mr. Kay said, there absolutely was an expectation that Charles would be there. And the way that the royals arrive at these banquets, the Queen is the last to arrive, so Charles would have been the second last to get there. And when the car came and it was the Queen getting out, of course we realized we had a big story here. Because the Prince of Wales wasn't there. There was no explanation for it, the palace didn't brief on it. I think they were caught unawares. Buckingham Palace was furious with the prince for embarrassing the Queen, abandoning his duty to the state and for violating the convention of the royal family remaining politically neutral. By not showing up to the dinner, he was expressing his political opinion. Something which the Queen would find unacceptable and something which could have far-reaching consequences. For example, it had the potential to really affect relations with China, because it undermined the friendly welcome that the UK have offered so far. Mr. Kay said, having a significant figure like the Prince of Wales, in line, signal his disapproval of what's going on in Beijing was damaging in the extreme. Buckingham Palace's response was one of anger, so angry, in fact, that some of their senior officials briefed journalists about what they described as a petulant and selfish prince. Meanwhile, the Labour government was fuming at what they saw as a breach of the prince's duty. Historian Sir Max Hastings added that the incident was also galling for Charles' father, the Duke of Edinburgh. He said, I should think this was a source of considerable frustration and dismay to Prince Philip, who led an intensely disciplined life, in which he's kept his mouth largely shut under intolerable stresses and strains. And he's been this absolutely rock-like support.